Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. BTC made a nice high yesterday, actually at 116,400, just about around here. Well, actually just above there, which is great. Now, this is the level that we were talking about back over here that BTC has to push above. This is basically the reversal area, 116 to 118 or so. I'm not surprised to see a little bit of resistance here. Again, we still have a stupid CME gap down about 2% from the current price. I would love to see this get filled. Having it wick down would be having it be filled. We don't have to see the candle close down here at 112,000. Of course, that would make the market feel very bad. We'd hurt the market's feelings and the market would probably cry. But you know what? Stiff upper lip, we're going to be just fine. BTC's volume almost touched the 30-day moving average, but it's still not there yet. On-balance volume is still bearish, and RSI almost made it up to 70. Honestly, I think things are okay. I'm just waiting for the CME gap to get filled so that nonsense is done, and then we see BTC go up higher. Now, I realize that with November 1st is this Saturday. It's literally just 5 days away. And the price of BTC to go up to $130,000 seems a little bit outlandish. It does. Do I think it'll happen? Well, that's historically what has happened in the past in terms of Octobers, especially in a top year, which is what we are in. If we don't hit it, we don't hit it. That's fine. But the main thing is that I still expect it to happen. The other thing to consider is that there's a lot of resistance up here in terms of price action from about 122,000 to the now all-time high at 126,000. But I do believe that these levels will be taken out. It's not really that much higher for BTC. It's only 11% to make a new all-time high to go up to 127. So again, we have price-based resistance. The TBO is also telling us, yes, at these levels here, 124K, 125K, watch out, expect it. On the 4-hour time frame, there aren't any bearish reversal signs yet, so no TBO closed longs, none of those blue diamonds, like back over here. We don't even have any TBT bearish divergences, so we're just having a little bit of a breather before we go up higher. Nothing really to freak out about, in my opinion. Ethereum also had a pullback yesterday, but very slightly so. The price actually pushed above the daily cloud, which is a huge deal for a chart that has been inside the cloud really here ever since the 9th of October. That's insane. So the fact that Ethereum has recovered this much on Sunday, moving up 5%, it only has to move up now from the current price today, 6% to even test overhead resistance. Volume almost tagged the moving average, but we don't have consistent volume. We really need to see this. I know this is all selling right here, but we need to see this accompanied with buying, and that will also force on-balance volume, which is the blue jagged line, to start jutting up, and then we'll see the moving average catch up with it. But for now, yeah, it's a good start. Seeing it poke above the cloud, it's a really, really good sign. No bearish reversals here on the 4-hour either. For ETH BTC, this is exciting. ETH BTC has actually pierced overhead resistance. This is the first pierce that we've ever had, pierce or test. This is a good sign. This weakens overhead resistance. It tells me that I wouldn't be surprised to see ETH BTC move up here. But again, I personally think that we're going to see ETH BTC top out here at about 0.04777 at the 618 level, which I think that said like a 30% increase, 31% increase from the current price. Yep, so we still have a CME gap here for Bitcoin, as well as Ethereum. We have two. There's one here at 2853. That'll get filled. Don't worry. It just won't happen anytime soon, but it will happen. My guess is going to be about March. That's my guess. But Ethereum only has to fall down 2%. We really just need a quick little wick down, pop, close that gap, and then we go up higher. Solana, this one is super duper close as well. It almost closed it yesterday. Has to fall down 1.3%. I love the fact that the CME gaps are so close as well. This is a really good thing in a way, because if we had it just something like this, a massive candle on a Monday, and we have a gap like this, it's just so close but so far away, eventually they will get filled. So it's just how it goes. No. Stablecoin dominance closed green yesterday because we had a pullback for BTC, but things are still looking good in my opinion on in terms of daily RSI, we saw it put in a low on Sunday at 38.97. This is awesome. The reason why this is awesome is because we're nowhere near a zone where we should be expecting a reversal, which would be below 25 on the daily time frame. So far, so good. We're okay. This is just a little bit of a hiccup before we keep going higher, in my opinion. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, we do have, I have to close this and this. I don't show volume, by the way, for these percentage-based charts because volume doesn't really matter for percentages. It also gives some weird values, just so you know. So that's why I hide those every time. It's not because there's anything secret there. But in terms of 4-hour RSI, it was really oversold down to 12.84, but it's just the 4-hour chart. So I don't really put a lot of stock. I don't put too much stock into 4-hour RSI. The main thing is that it's amazing how the percentage is staying here inside of the cloud, isn't it? So again, we want to see BTC push up higher, so that way we see stablecoin dominance fall below the cloud. That's the desired outcome, but we still have to wait a bit. Now, others.d, we can see that this one closed. It's TBO closed long back here on Monday evening for me. Totally 50, same story. Totally 100, same story. Others BTC, same story. Now, I'm putting this here because someone actually asked, could you just do a quick little look at gold? Gold is having a real big cool off right now. It's amazing how far it's fallen. And again, this 1-day move of 5%, that's insane. The fact that it fell down and it printed a TBT bearish divergence. Now, one thing you have to know about the TBO indicator, which is this indicator right here, which stands for the trending breakout, anytime the price wicks into this mass right here, which is what I call the TBO Cloud, that's a sign that we should be seeing some bearish consolidation to come. Bearish consolidation is when the price closes inside of this mass, the cloud, and we basically chop, but we chop down to the bottom. So bearish consolidation works our way to the bottom of the cloud down here. Doesn't have to do that, but that's basically the definition. So right now, gold is looking weak, but it's not that bad. The reason why I can say that confidently is because if I zoom out and I focus on the daily time frame, yes, it's had a pretty severe pullback, but the slow line here on the daily time frame is extremely aggressive. We also saw gold go on I have to count the days here. It went on a 41-day streak above the cloud. It's still strong bullish. It had a sell-off of 3% yesterday, which is incredible. Honestly, that's a big move for gold. That's a devastating move for gold. But I don't think that gold is done yet. I think that we will see gold come back up here, maybe not all the way up there, but probably here to like 42.40 before pausing. But we've seen this behavior before from gold as well. Back over here, we can see other days where we got TBT bearish divergences and the price fell inside the cloud, but it shot right back up. Notice the date, April. This is when we had all the tariff fears. And then back over here, this is where I called the top for gold, and it held for a long time. Over here on the 22nd of April, we have a TBT bearish divergence. The price goes inside the cloud. We get a TBO close long. These are all bearish signals of a consolidation. And what happens after that? Gold does move back up, but it's also chugging inside of the cloud. During this entire time, what is the direction of the slow line? It's up. So even though all of this chop right here feels bad if you're a holder, the truth is that the long-term trend remained bullish the entire time. So even if you got into gold here at the tip top at 3,500, guess what? You did just fine. You ended up making 25% on that return. So the name of the game here is the trend. And when we see a strong trend identified or signified by the TBO slow line moving up a lot like this on the daily, not to mention the weekly as well, it's still strong bullish. Yes, there have been some pullbacks, but I don't think gold is done at all. Now, I have some more to share with you, but before I do, you got to go over to thebettertraders.com. There are links in the description, also in the pinned comments. Check out those links. Go check out our courses, especially 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. This is a great place to start for you to learn how to automate your crypto trading experience using tools that are available on the AllTrading platform, whether it's with our free TBT signals or it's with the TBO indicator and also A/B trading tools. And when you sign up for the course, you get a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club, which includes a whole ton of stuff. Plus, there are links to sign up for Femex and BYDFi, which are exchange partners that are down below. So make sure to click on those, and let's get into today's picks. All right. So as always, if you have coins that you're interested in me checking out, make sure to leave a comment down below. I read all the comments. I will not include every single ticker that you guys are asking for, but I do read what you guys are asking for, and I pay attention. So do me a favor. If you're doing that, make sure that you're subscribed, make sure you like the video, and also share this video with your friends. Share it on your socials, so that way you can help me reach my target of 100,000 subs this year. Now, we need to do an update on virtuals. Virtuals had 2 TBO breakouts after an explosive move, already up 76%. These are likely top moves, in my opinion. It's probably the top. That's an old fib level. But we just have to keep an eye on it. I'm a little bit skeptical about virtuals going up higher, but if the conditions are good enough, this could continue to rip higher and higher. I don't know what the news is. I don't really care personally. But this is a good sign that it pierced above the 0.5 fib level on Sunday. It did again on, yesterday, Monday, and it's done it again already today. We have an open long in progress. It's not a surprise after this crazy price action. But because we have an open long, TBO close short, the orange diamond, I'm actually expecting the price to come down and tag the fast line, which would be a pretty steep sell-off. So I'm looking at the 4-hour going, well, these breakouts are happening really, really, really late. They could still be accurate. We could see one more impulse up here to the 618 for a 37% increase. And volume is still okay yesterday. RSI is still massively overbought, but if it closes red today, that's probably it. And the next place to look at it, if you're interested in the coin, is back here on the fast line. XMR, Monero, this one had one TBO breakout on Monday, early Monday, and we have now a TBT bearish divergence. This is not in the TBO indicator. This is a separate indicator available in the pro tier of the Better Traders Club. These let us know when to expect a pullback. You can see one over here. Even though the price went above another 6%, it was pretty accurate. We had a 5% pullback, went up again, fell back a lot more. Not necessarily telling us that there's going to be a massive crash to come. Like, we even had a breakout right there after a recovery. It's just a black swan event, I guess. So we have another TBT bearish divergence, which means that yes, we still have a valid breakout, but there's a chance that we could see a breakdown for XMR. Zcash, this one has a perfect 3 in a row TBO breakout. It should have a bullish reaction, but this is also a chart that's just massively overbought. One thing to keep in mind right here is daily RSI. 95.62 is just below the high of 95.72. We also have a line of resistance that's here just to watch and pay attention to. It did pierce it yesterday. If we can see daily RSI push back above today for Zcash, then it'll be, no issues whatsoever. We'll see it continue to push up higher and higher. Volume is still looking really good. On balance, volume still looks really bullish as well. So I know it's crazy overbought. I know it has a TBO breakout on the weekly last week after a 37% move. Has another one in progress. It's just a little bit overbought. Just a teensy-weensy little bit. JUP, this one has a TBO close short that's still open in that we haven't seen the price come back down to tag the fast line. But funny enough, we have a TBO breakout here. Now, when we see a move like this, it moves up 18, 19, 20%. Then we get a breakout all the way up here. Even though a TBO breakout tells me, or rather the textbook definition is that the price should explode up higher, it does matter where these print. Very much like the TBO closed shorts. The closer these are to support, the better they are. If there's more than these, it's really, really good. So if we just see one of these after an explosive move, it's more likely to be a top signal. But we know that we have a closed short. So the way I interpret this is I'm expecting JUP to have a pullback to tag the fast line, which is currently at 0.4011. And this will move around during the day. The orange flags here are for TBO closed shorts. Now, Syrup, which I talked about before, came back down and tagged the fast line. So that is closed. Trump had a weird pump yesterday and printed a TBO close short. Wick to wick, it was up, 35%, which is nuts. And look at the volume yesterday, too. Really, really, really weird. Helium, HNT, this one had a nice 7% move and a TBO close short on the daily. So again, we're expecting the price to have a small pullback to the fast line, but this is a good symbol. Unfortunately, it's really high above the green dotted line of support. But this is a chart we've been watching. We saw it successfully push above overhead resistance on Thursday, which was ideally the day to get into a chart like this. And now it's up 16%. We'll see. Now, some bullish news just to be aware of. Hedera Hashgraph continues to move up. On Sunday, it printed a TBT bullish divergence, which is awesome. Yesterday, it closed up 2.69%. Today, it's up 2.8%. It's a good move here for Hedera. And we have these two TBO closed shorts, which are really good early entry signals. It's a really nice signal. I actually faded this one. I was too busy and I did not buy Hedera. That's what I get. Tau, this one is also looking good. This one's taken a long time, but if this is a TBO springboard bounce, we're waiting for the price to come up and tag either historical TBO resistance here at about 450 or here, immediate resistance at 468. Now for the not so great news. H, this one printed a TBT bearish divergence cluster. A cluster on this indicator is essentially the same thing as the normal red triangles, except we want to emphasize when we have more than 3 of these happening within a 5 candle period. That's what the 5 right here does. So if I reduce this down to 4, I believe it goes away. So it just made the cutoff. Now, why that level? This is just how I've been using it on the 4-hour time frame. It works extremely well. And what we can gather from this is that we might see a pullback here for H. I'm not going to be shorting a chart like this because it's extremely bullish. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it have a pullback. That's all I'm saying. SNX on the daily time frame still has an open TBO close long, this blue diamond right here. We haven't seen the price snap back up to touch the fast line, which is currently at 1.305. Now, again, must-watch charts. Solana is still a must-watch chart, in my opinion. Had a really good move up here yesterday up to 205, which is awesome to see it above $200. It's starting to knock on that again. I still am waiting for Solana to move up here, and it'll probably find some resistance at about 215 when it finally makes its way up here. But I do think that Solana will continue to do well. Just keep an eye on it. Aster, this one is still struggling a lot. I really just want to draw tons of trend lines on this, but I'm struggling to figure out which one to really focus on because it's already basically beat all the other trend lines. It's already moved above most of these. And yesterday's move, having a rejection from the 236 is too bad, but it's still at a good price point. Now, it's a coin with a lot of baggage. People loved Aster back over here because it was making them tons of money. And here it is. But this is the same thing that happened with Pump. If you guys remember months ago, when everyone was ragging on Pump and no one liked it, that was when we started looking at a position to buy into Pump and it moved up like 150%. So Aster will also have its turn as well. It's been hated. It's been rejected by most people. So what I really want to see is an orange diamond, a TBO close short here on the 4-hour time frame to get some more confidence. But right now, I'm just kind of waiting and watching the chart. I think... at 2504, we didn't get an RSI reset, but it's pretty good in terms of a nice deep cut there. Pi. Now, literally out of nowhere, Pi had a huge move yesterday, 33%. Look at the volume too. Pi and Trump are in cahoots or something. I don't know. It's weird. But this is also a chart that's been massively bearish for a long time. It's been insanely bearish. Now, this liquidated a lot of short sellers, especially if they got in late. So I'm on the fence about this one. We do have a TBT bullish divergence. It's a nice sign to see that. It got overbought actually on the daily time frame. On balance volume had a huge push, but that's because there was a massive manipulative pump. On the weekly, it's still bearish, but if it holds green, we do have an RSI reset on the weekly, which is a pretty big deal. Co-AI, or Chain Opera AI, This one is still miraculously holding. It fell below 4-hour support, but this is a chart that I'm actually expecting to start looking good for a bounce. It also just had an insane 300% move from the 20th to the 24th, 344%. So yeah, I'm expecting that to happen soon. We also have some TBT bullish divergences here. They're early, but I would love to see a close short. That would help. Not really seeing anything else, to be honest, but I get the vibes. I get the tinglies that are telling me, this one might have one more move up here, but that's a 300% move is huge. XPL, this one got rejected. Let me clean up the chart a little bit. It got rejected from overhead resistance yesterday several times, and also from the 236, but it didn't put in a lower low. In fact, it put in a higher low. I do think that XPL plasma is going to start pushing up, and it's going to move up above resistance and the 236, and it'll start pushing up higher. Another thing to consider is that it is showing signs of strength on the daily. We have a low here, 2016, a lower low, 1968. That's it. That's the bottom right there in terms of RSI. So what do we need? That was a weird circle. There you go. So what are we watching for now? We're watching for higher lows. So we want to see RSI doing this and this and this, which it will, as we see more confidence in the price move up higher. Right now, volume is still pretty dead on the 4-hour. It's really, really, really dead. But that'll change once it starts to wake up, in my opinion. Now on to your requests. Again, if you have coins you want me to check out, leave a comment down below. Ignore all the tags and the flags here. I want to stop doing the flags because I just want to talk about these one by one. All right. Spectral. Never heard of this coin, but there are lots of coins I haven't heard of. Weird pump. 87.87% yesterday. Volume is crazy. What, 5 times the average, just about? That's a weird pump and dump pump. That's all there is to share about it. The chart is still massively, massively, massively bearish on the daily. On the weekly, it has a TBT bullish divergence. It has a RSI reset, but this is a chart that's been super oversold for a long time. I'm not excited about charts like this because the trend is so bearish. Now, what would make me more excited or interested in Spectral is if it falls down, it puts in a higher low. That would be a great sign where it'd be like, oh, okay, so it's not just a one and done, like pump and dump. Cool, then I would be more interested in it. But right now, I'm not really excited about a chart like this. ENA, this one had a TBT bullish divergence back over here. It's slowly waking up. It is in bullish consolidation. Bullish consolidation happens when the price was previously strong bearish below the cloud, like it was back over here, and then it pushes up and inside of the cloud. That is a transition to being in bullish consolidation. Now, the unfortunate truth about ENA is that the slow line here, which is the slowest of the 4 moving averages that comprise the TBO, is pretty flat, which is not a good sign of a strong trend at all. It also has pretty strong overhead resistance, if I'm not mistaken. It pushed above it. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's one of those, like, I don't know. It needs to prove it to me more, that it wants it more, but it's risky. Injective, on the 4-hour time frame, this did have one TBO close short. It's trying to push up higher, but again, it's really held down, and BTC is really determining a lot of what the market's doing. Obviously, yesterday, Injective fell down 4%, but the day before, 7%. So, yeah, it's still bearish. XLM is still bearish. I know that XLM and XRP work together and they move simultaneously. So if XRP does well, XLM should do well. I think there's probably some connection there that I'm never ever aware of, nor do I have the effort or the want to expel the energy or use up my energy to find out why, but they just do. Link is in progress of putting a second TBT bullish divergence signal on today's candle. Now, this is super premature to say a second because today's candle just started an hour and 7 minutes ago. So this could very well go away. We could see Link fall down a lot lower. I personally like Link. I am personally holding Link, so I'm also biased and I want to go up higher. So when I look at a chart like ENA, which is actually above resistance, I'm looking at Link going, well, I like this better, so I want to cheer this on more. It's difficult to put your bias to the side, to not have that bias and to keep it. But I do like the fact that we're seeing two TBT bullish divergences here on this chart. KETA had a TBT bullish divergence on Tuesday last week. It's just consolidating at the bottom of the cloud. One thing that is good-ish about KETA is that it's kind of a new listing. It listed at least on Blowfin in May of this year, and it really hasn't done much of anything. I could be wrong too. I have to find out because I think there's a better chart here. No, I'm right on. Okay, good. So May 15th. Yeah. So one thing that's nice about the chart, or a chart like this, is that because it hasn't experienced a bull market, it should be able to move back up to these highs and a little bit more. It should be able to. Emphasis on the word should, if you didn't notice that. But there's no guarantees. Brett had a nice TBT bullish divergence, a good upper wick yesterday. Volume is picking up here, which is excellent for this coin. Yes, the volume is picking up with selling, but remember, volume is votes. When we see an increase in volume, that is a bullish sign, even if it means it's selling, but that volume is telling us there is support for whatever's happening. So if volume were to be dying down right now as Brett is going lower, that's a bad sign. But now that we see volume increasing even more as we're seeing a push to the top side, especially like on this day, where literally nothing happened. Brett did nothing on this day. Look, 0.22%, yet volume increased on this day. This is the highest volume has been. So there's clear demand for this chart. So that, I'll say that about it. Osmo or osmosis, it's strong bearish. I mean, there's nothing really exciting happening. It's not even near, what's this? That's an old dot. Good grief. From what, 2024? Yeah, nothing really happening on the daily to be excited about. On the weekly, well, that's too bad. I mean, October the 10th, this dump right here really hurt a lot of coins, and it really pushed a lot of things back. But the reality is that Osmo also lost its support level a long time ago too, like way back over here in April. So, and look, notice the pump right here too. See that? This is the stuff I teach in the courses, guys, too. Like, this is ridiculous. So even if you got in right here and you're looking for an exit and you bought the dip, you know, I need to get out there. So even if it were to pump, there's clear resistance up here at 23 cents. Zora. Anyone else think of like Breath of the Wild? Like the Legend of Zelda games? When I see Zora, I just can't help but shake that. Did they do that on purpose? Is that water? Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't get it. Good pump yesterday, but unfortunately now it's finally touching the fast line. I say unfortunately because we know that daily RSI has been on the decline for a while, really ever since here, the 13th of October, so about 2 weeks ago. Seeing volume decline as well is not a good sign. Seeing on-balance volume close below this really strong moving average. Could it pump from here? Yes. But notice what's happening. We're seeing all these nice upper wicks for Zora, but they're just reducing. They're falling off. Just keep in mind that we've seen this behavior before from Zora too, and it just gets defeated, pumps a little bit, but it goes lower. Again, it's like a flopping dead, dying fish on the beach. It's literally what it looks like. Until finally the tide takes it out. Then it springs up like a majestic dolphin with a unicorn horn. Isn't that a narwhal, Aaron? It is a narwhal. ADA. This one, you guys are asking for it. I mean, it's still, technically, this one is strong bearish according to the TBO. The main thing you have to keep an eye on too is this the slow line, which is pointing down. That was a really terrible line. Thank you, I know. So that line right there does not look so good to me. It looks bearish. So if you can see that line right there, it's not looking good. We haven't even seen ADA go back inside the cloud after losing 22% on the 10th of October. Whereas a lot of other charts have already started to pick up. I'm cheering for ADA. I like the fact that they have a working product. I know people love Charles Hoskin. I've seen him in person a couple of times at different crypto conferences. Seems like a great guy. I don't really get why he likes his pigs so much, but I know that some people just love their pigs. Cool. But it still has strong overhead resistance that's been in play December and then established here in March. And we saw it push and test a lot over here in August and over here in September, and it got rejected again in early October. So it needs to push above this level. You don't even need the TBO to see this. Like, it needs to push above this. Once it does that, then I think the move is probably going to be to up here, 99% to like $1.32. And I think that's reasonable for a top target, and then it's done. Based off of the timeline that I have, I should say that. SPX, yeah, this one is doing a whole lot of nothing right now. We have a new level of resistance to watch, which is frustrating. It's always fun to have these new lines, right? Yay. We saw some bullish reversal signals on the 4-hour time frame. Now we have an open long on the 4-hour, which is kind of good. Volume is still below average. Not so good, which means that on-balance volume looks weak, which means that RSI has been looking weak. Now, we've broken the downtrend, which is a good sign after the recovery that started last Friday, but it's still technically strong bearish, meaning that it's below the daily cloud. It's also below the 236 on this ever-expanding Fibonacci retracement level. So, where's the challenge? The challenge is to see it go up here to touch this level of resistance, new resistance, currently up 41%. And unfortunately, it's going to be the 618, which also corresponds to price action right here in TBO resistance. Could it move up higher? Everything could move up a lot higher. I still think that charts will have a really nice push up towards the end of this year, but so much of it is hinged on the fact that BTC first has to move up a lot higher. If it can start that momentum, everything else will follow. It will. It's just normal. BTC will lead the way. Many coins will lag just slightly behind Bitcoin, but Bitcoin will lead the way to higher highs, to the market top, which I think is coming next month. And then we'll see alts push up higher in December. That's that. At least that's what I think. Happy to be wrong. Again, I keep saying it, but I seriously am happy to be wrong. So before you go, watch this video, and then I'll see you tomorrow. I forgot how I'm supposed to end these videos. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.